This is Professor Drexler's Audio Academia, Tape 3, Side B. Of all the conspiracies that I have studied, the Roswell Incident has to be the worst, or should I say the best, depending on your perspective. I have spent many years studying the Roswell Incident. In fact, I have been called an expert on the subject. I have a PhD in ufology, and I've spoken, as I am now, in many panels and forums about the subject. When most people study the Roswell Incident, they look at this through a much larger lens. The military is the authority, the government is the authority, and in our country, the United States of America, we trust our authorities. In this case, I think they're wrong. When we study this, let's re-examine this information from a smaller lens. I am convinced that this conspiracy has gotten out of control for the last 40 years. Now, I say that because I make this recording in 1987, the 40th anniversary of the Roswell Incident. The culpability of this conspiracy lies in the rag known as the Roswell Daily Record. So the question for me, which is unanswered, is this: why did the Roswell Daily Record not follow up or do additional investigations to the only two witnesses in Roswell, as reported by the military press release, Mr. and Mrs. Wilmot of 105 South, Pennsylvania? That address is significant, and here's why. The address of the Roswell Daily Record in 1947, according to archival sources, was 424 North Main Street. Now, I've walked from 424 North Main Street to 105 South, Pennsylvania. It's about 5 blocks. At a medium pace, it took me roughly 20 minutes to walk there. So you're telling me that some reporter couldn't have donned his fedora, went out into the street in his zoot suit, walked at a medium pace about 5 blocks simply to get follow-up information or to ask the Wilmot family if they remember anything else? No, they did not. They didn't even bother to call the Brazel Ranch and ask them any questions. Now, why is this significant? Because the Roswell Daily Record is a rag. What I find most frustrating is that the Roswell Daily Record has not apologized for causing fear and terror and a conspiracy which has lasted for decades. All they had to do was print a small article apologizing, saying, "We screwed up," or even a tongue-in-cheek expose on one of the anniversaries. But instead, for decades, from the Roswell Daily Record, we have silence. So perhaps the real conspiracy is not about aliens or weather balloons, but about a rag of a newspaper called the Roswell Daily Record, struggling for relevancy through profiteering and notoriety, with about as much journalistic integrity as the original authors of yellow journalism.